Mohbad's father has been quiet for a while, and a lot of people have been wondering why. I am not saying the man must and should always be online. He has a lot to deal with. Previously, he was always online, and people said, why don't you keep your mouth shut? Don't even think, don't do nothing. But the man continued to press and push. So if he decides to take a break, I don't think there's anything wrong. But he's back again. This time around, he has a lot to say. He had not commented to the updates that Karimo gave, talking about how Wunmi tied Mohbad using a whole cockerel, boiled, cooked cockerel, chicken. She finished it on a sitting, and they did certain things with the bones and with some things that belongs to Mohbad, and she didn't end there. Also, other updates such as what they did with the police and how Wunmi had given the statement to the police that they now called investigation report. She said, I drove my sister twice down to the police so that we can collate stories here and there, put it together for the police to come up with their so-called whatever. That was what they addressed Nigerians with. Now, there is a guy called Gurexi and some other individuals here and there who they said a guy called Piers had given money. The thing is this, that guy called Piers had spent 10 million naira at the beginning of Justice for Mohbad when nobody was donating. Not until he started requesting for information or control, and certain persons, in fact, not certain persons, Mohbad's father's brother, Muyiwa in the US, had said, no, we want to use this person. This is what we want to do. He felt listening to these peers was creating some lack of precision to get justice for Mohbad and lack of speed. Well, we are here today in a different direction, pathway. But what will become of these people who had infiltrated justice for Mohbad? Who are they working for? Are they working for Belegushi? Who are they working for? To what end? Well, let us listen to Mohbad's father. He has something to say about a lot of things that he got to find out recently. It will shock you. It will blow your mind. Still on justice for Mohbad, ladies and gentlemen. We all should applaud ourselves for being strong, resolute on this one. Do not forget to like, share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Returning subscribers and those that have been here, I say a very big thank you to you. And to those that have tapped on the thanks button, the one with the love icon, dollar sign in the middle of it, may God bless you. May God replenish your pockets. If you also want to be a part of this, you want to encourage us, you like what we do, and you are for justice for Mohbad, tap on that button that says thanks. Let us get right into it.
So nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ on that Sunday, mo jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ wípé there was a time tẹ́nìkan wòye pé táyà yọ bàbá yìí lẹ́nu pẹ̀lú mọ́tò tí mo rà. Ẹni wá sọ pé èló ni táyà, pé kí n lọ sí store kí n lọ kó táyà mẹ́rin, ibi tí bá fẹ́ extra kí n gbé sí. But ẹni tó wà nínú mi àti pé ẹni tó wà nítòsí mi that period wà ní ṣé time táyà rí lè kí ṣe máa manage ohun tó wà lẹ́sẹ̀ mọ́tò. Now mi ìwá lọ gba táyà yẹn. Nígbà tí orúkọ ń jáde ni wọ́n sọ pé ẹni tó fẹ́ fún mi táyà ń jọ sí náà ni ẹni tí wọ́n ní wọ́n sponsor many people tó yẹ pé kò wá justice. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Wọ́n wò pé ká sọ pé èmi náà wá gba táyà ń gbá yẹn. Ṣé a fẹ́ sọ pé èmi náà ti compromise ní àbẹ́kùn náà ti gbowó ẹ̀yìn ni. So mo kàn ń jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé
mo ń gbọ́ yín sìn bàbá, à ń gbọ́ yín sìn.
Ohun tí mo ń try àti sọ ni wípé mo ní kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe mistake yẹn tí wọ́n bá rẹ́dí àti ṣe àtúnṣe ká fọwọ́wọ́nú pẹ̀lú wọn. Ìdí àti tí wọ́n ní wípé ká sọ pé èmi náà gba táyà on that moment because mo need the tire yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn dẹ̀ fi lò mí ká ní gbogbo tire ń gbà yẹn náà sìn ṣé wọ́n sọ pé èmi náà ti compromise.
bàbá ṣé nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ ni pé gbogbo àwọn tó ní wọ́n gbowó yẹn nìkan ẹ kò sẹ́ bàbá wọn ọjà mọ́ gbogbo yẹn ti parí ẹ má jẹ́ kó bọ́dà yín bàbá. Now bàbá ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ kíní kan fún yín nípa gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ pé gbogbo àwọn tó ń wá justice tó wá ń jà ṣé ń gbọ́ bàbá mi.
Yes, ma'am.
ẹ̀yin náà as a pastor ẹ mọ̀ pé èèyàn kan mú Mósè débì kan tó sọ pé kó wo ilẹ̀ ìlérí lọ́kàn kò ní débẹ̀ ṣe rántí bàbá apọ̀tájọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ justice for Mohbad but mo ń sọ fún yín lẹ́ni pé láàrin àwọn atakù gan àwọn kan tún yìí máa jábọ́ wọn ò ní kú o bàbá gbogbo àwọn atabẹ̀rẹ̀ justice kọ́ la máa débẹ̀ ẹ má jẹ́ kó bọ́dà yín bàbá àkọsílẹ̀ ni ṣé gbogbo àwọn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ APC àbí lulẹ̀ LP ṣáwọn ló délẹ̀ lérílẹ̀ ní bàbá please that should be last thing ẹ má jẹ́ kí yẹn ó máa jó méjì ọkàn fún yín but please ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má ronú people are not happy wọ́n nínú yín ò dùn wọ́n ní wọ́n ní ẹrù ẹ wò pé ṣe máa múra tẹ máa múra yọ́pì tẹ máa lo glasses yẹn òun làwa like o bàbá ṣàmẹ́pẹ́ ẹ̀yin ni face of justice for Mohbad and God forbid tí nǹkan kan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ́ta yín bàbá even bọ̀dá mú ìwà tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà gan kò ní sọ pé òun fẹ́ wá jàjà justice o wọ́n máa ní kí ni tiẹ̀ ní àbíkò yín bàbá bọ̀ ìtorí pé ẹjọ́ lórí ẹbí ẹ̀yin dẹ̀ ní bàbá Mohbad and ẹ̀yin làwa tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn ẹ̀yin ni face of justice for Mohbad kò yẹ yín bàbá a ní fẹ́ gba justice tán kẹtù wá lọ wà ní àìlera ọkàn àbí kò yẹ yín ìtorí ẹni gbogbo wa ṣe dúró tì yín ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bàbá ẹ má ronú Ọlọ́run ò ní ṣe ti yín ní ronú lórúkọ Jésù Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún yín lókun àtagbára mo mọ̀ pé kú ọmọ yín náà ó ń affect yín psychologically tó èmi àti yín ti sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa tí mo dẹ̀ rí àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ sọ́njọ́ yẹn àbí kò yẹ yín but ṣẹ́ra nǹkan tí Mohbad ò dúró ṣe àwọn àbúrò ẹ̀ gbogbo wọ́n ṣe ìtọ́jú yẹn lọ fún yín àtẹ̀yí tí màmá wọn bí o àtẹ̀yí tí ìyàwó yín tó wà nù lébi Ọlọ́run á ṣe ìtọ́jú yẹn lọ fún yín ṣe gbọ́ bàbá ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má ronú mọ́ people are not happy wọ́n ní ẹrù gan mo dẹ̀ sí ni máa pè yín mo kàn wọ́n tí ń sìn náà níṣẹ́ tí gbọ́ ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ bàbá ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ Ọlọ́run á dùn yín nínú Ọlọ́run á fún yín lálàáfíà gbogbo wọn ń gbọ́ ẹ ṣé bàbá kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́ bàbá ìsà báyìí. Bàbá ní kí gbogbo yín so ẹ ti gbọ́ problem wa ló tún jẹ́ kí bàbá oníbàbá máa ronú kẹ́ lè mọ̀ pé bàbá yìí bó ṣe ń ro tiẹ̀ ló ń ro ti gbogbo àwọn tó ń support ẹ ti mọ̀ pé bàbá yìí ò ń ṣe selfish man this is why ṣẹ́rí mi ever move o ẹ lè rí mi kí n pitch tent mi pẹ̀lú lórí burúkú èèyàn ẹ wò ya Mohbad mọ́tò tó máa pa pósí tó máa pa pósí tó máa sín sí lọ́gbélé lọ́wọ́ kò tiẹ̀ ro tàwọn tó ń fọ́lù ẹ̀ kò ro pain àwọn tó ń jà fún ẹ wo bàbá yìí ó tún wà worried pé wọ́n bá àwọn èèyàn kan jà pọ́n gbowó look at him Ọlọ́run á fún wọn lẹ́mìí gígùn àtàláfíà together báyìí la máa jẹ́rí justice wọ́n ní Kàrímọ́ ṣe fídíò kan lánàá fídíò náà dà màá tún pè wọ́n lẹ́yìn tá bá ṣe tán màá pè wọ́n mo pè wọ́n níjọ́ téèyàn kan send message yẹn sí mi bọ́ wọ́n gbé phone so bá ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n sì téèyàn kan sọ pé bàbá ọkọ mo yọ̀ ni mo kàn wọ́n tí pé ká pè wọ́n. wọ́n ní Kàrímọ́ ṣe fídíò kan anyway tí n bá rí fídíò yẹn jẹ́ kí n sáré sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe rí voice note tí mo play yóò pọ̀ gan àwọn àṣírí kan tún bẹ̀ tí mo fẹ́ play no me play mama lonsing ṣé mo sọ fún yín pé mo gbé mọ́tò mi lọ fún mechanic so mo fẹ́ lọ gbà olólọ́pàá gba bribe èmi ti gbọ́ story yẹn èmi ti gbọ́ everything tí Àṣànà ń ṣe Àṣànà ní personal meeting pẹ̀lú àwọn ọlọ́pàá òun ló máa ṣe easy fún Àṣànà àti Ṣẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ́rì tán máa ní ẹ̀yìn gbígbà tí Ṣẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ́rì sọ pé òun ò lè máa bú ọmọ lọ́mọ ó sọ statement kan ó ní wọ́n tó bá ní evidence mú lọ sọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́pàá one on one kẹ́nìtì tó ṣẹlẹ̀ k'Àṣànà tó lọ sí inquest ó máa ń ṣe meeting pẹ̀lú ọ̀gá àwọn ọlọ́pàá èmi ń sọ fún yín lẹ́ni. èmi ń sọ ẹyọ kan yẹn fún yín lẹ́ni tèmi ti mọ̀ tipẹ́ ni. abẹ́ gbọ́ mi mo dẹ̀ tún sọ ilé fún yín lẹ́ni from the place of truth. olórí burúkú pẹ́ẹ́sì pẹ́ẹ́sì ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún ọba Ìkàtẹ́ back to back. ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún ọba Ìkàtẹ́ back to back. gbogbo wípé ọlọ́pàá ó ń lé bàbá dànù wọ́n ṣe everything wọ́n ṣe meeting ni ipe Mohbad kú wọn lọ sínú ilé yẹn lọ ṣe investigation nǹkan tó sọ fún wọn lọ ṣe they are acting on what they told them to do. àwa ń fi àsìkò yìí bẹ̀ kí ló kọ gọ́vnà exactly mọ́tò àṣàna àti ṣẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ́rì nìyẹn ẹ máa gbọ́ go to station they will say go to station because wọ́n ti settle wọn ní station ẹni kọ́ bọ́ta kọ́ sọ pé mò ń parọ́ wọ́n ti settle wọn ní station òun ló mú bàbá dé police station for good 3 hours tí ọlọ́pàá ominikùn tó bọ́ta tó ní kí bàbá get out nípa wọn kọ́ máa fún bàbá ní nǹkan kan nílùú tó ní ọba tó ní ìjòyè. nǹkan tí Kàrímọ́ sọ kò parọ́ èmi ti gbọ́ tipẹ́ wọ́n máa ń ṣe meeting ni ẹni káṣàdá sọ pé mo parọ́ wọ́n máa ń ṣe meeting ni ẹ̀dẹ̀ kọ́ déètì ní sílẹ̀ tí spending àti nurse ò bá ṣọ́ra àwọn ló fẹ́ wá prosecute spending àti nurse wọ́n fẹ́ join ní kí ló kọ rẹ Mohbad tọjọ́ wọ ẹnu púùlù yẹn náà prime boy wọ́n fẹ́ join prime boy náà wọ́n rí i pé prime boy yẹn ọ̀gbá ní tiẹ̀ kò gbà fún wọn. gbogbo èyí tọ́lọ́pàá ń kọ pé àwọn fẹ́ ṣe investigation tiwọn ṣe ń gbọ́ mi nǹkan tó fẹ́ wá put out fún yín nìyẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ́mọ́ fẹ́ wá gbé yẹn síta láti fi distract DNA ṣe pé tó wá ti sáré bọ́ta pé àwọn tó pa àwọn pípù yẹn ni àwọn dẹ̀ ẹ má gbàgbé o wọ́n ti sọ fún nọ́ọ̀sì lẹ́yìn pé wọ́n máa mú jáde eventually ìtorí ẹ̀ lánàá prime boy ṣe ń ṣe àánú spending ṣe ń ṣe mí wọ́n sọ fún nọ́ọ̀sì pé anything tó bá fi kàn kó gbà sára ipe kò ní dúró sínú prison yẹn ìtorí ẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n ti pé ọlọ́pàá update ńjọ́ kan tí mo share tó sọ pé ọlọ́pàá sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ investigation tiwọn àwọn fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ prosecution ṣe rántí tó sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ prosecution tiwọn ṣe rántí màá lọ wá update yẹn màá kà fún yín prime boy sorry spending àti nurse ló fẹ́ wá prosecute wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé táwọn bá sọ pé àwọn prosecute yẹn they want to use it to distract us from DNA ẹ̀yin ọlọ́pàá ṣe fẹ́ gbọ́ ẹ bá mú àṣànà ìpẹ́ fẹ́ prosecute ẹ̀ we still stand on our stand the DNA is gonna be done and you have to follow whatever Baba Mohbad says now àwa ń bẹ Sanwó-Olú wọ́n níbẹ̀ la máa ń bẹ òṣìkà Baba Sanwó-Olú ẹni ọmọ tí ẹni ọmọkùnrin ẹni ọmọ obìnrin ẹ fún wa ní justice ọlọ́pàá tuntun tó wà lórí oyè ń sìn mo gbọ́ pé the new chief of army staff ọmọ ìlú Baba Mohbad ni we will work on going to see him at least anybody tó bá pè ní chief of army staff they have opportunity to see the president ó kéré jù 4 times in a week bóyá wọ́n tún mọ ilẹ̀kùn tán lè bá wa kàn I don't want to say a lot of things here but I want you to ọ̀rọ̀ tí n bá sọ fún yín lé ní ẹmu sọ́wọ́ sí justice will definitely be served Justice will definitely be served. Èmi tí mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yín ni. Èèyàn kan pè mí ní ìjọ Sunday. Nọ́mbà yẹn wà níbí but ó dàbí ń bọ̀. Mo rí phone call yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀mejì kò yé mi. Mo wò pé ta ló pè mí. Ń bọ̀. Níjọ Sunday. I don't know why he called me, but I want to call him now. I'm going to call him on live. Okay. He called me twice. Facebook ẹ ti yá lọ ni. Ṣá ìwà lórí Facebook ẹ bá mi confirm because number yẹn ti lọlẹ̀. We are over 1,000 plus now, but number yẹn ti lọlẹ̀. Okay. Now, King White. Bombo. Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ ká save because tí n bá save mi ní lè pè lórí King. Èèyàn kan ní ṣé mo ṣọ́ pé King White ní data. Ṣé pé kò ní gbé? King White. Ẹgbọ́n nǹkan téèyàn kan sọ, ó ní King White ń kọ́ ìyá Mohbad bó ṣe wa mọ́tò lọ́wọ́. He's teaching ìyá Mohbad how to drive. King White tó máa pè mí, tó máa gbé. King White tó bá pè mí lẹ́yìn. I don't like recording. I would have picked his call on Sunday and recorded him, but I don't like recording. I don't. That is the last thing I would do. Tí Àṣànà bá pè mí lẹ́ni gan mi ní recording. I don't do it. I don't. Wọ́n ní King White ń kọ́ ìyá Mohbad mọ́tò. Okay, kò gbé phone. Ṣé rí King White o? Kẹ́ má ní mo parọ́ ń bọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ fi photo yẹn wọ̀n. Jẹ́jẹ́ mi mo jókòó tó pè mí o. Kẹ́ bá ní bí jẹ́ ń parọ́ kò pé. Ń bọ̀. Bó ní photo wà sí. Wọ́n ní King White fẹ́ tàgùnmú fún mi. Àgùnmú. It makes sense. Gbogbo àlà ń bí ọmọ ní ayé náà. Ọmọ lè bá ó lè fine, ó dẹ̀ lè fine lẹ́lẹ́kejì náà kí má sọ. But ẹ wo ọmọ yẹn. Arúgbó boys. Ọlọ́run kò tiẹ̀ yé mi because Ọlọ́run tí Àṣànà ò bá ro, èmi máa ń bá Àṣànà ro o. Bó bá ọlọ́mọ ìṣèjọ arúgbó bá ẹ gbàgbé pé eléyìí ò ṣe pọ́n ń bọ́ ọmọ lọ́mọ ó bímọ tẹ̀ àbórí yín burú ni wọ́n ń bọ́ ọmọ lọ́mọ eléyìí ò ṣọ ṣé t'Àṣànà bá jábúrò yín tó dẹ̀ bí ọmọ tó gbé ọmọ yẹn wá sínú ilé yín ẹ̀yin wèrè yín náà lè máa lọ lẹ́yìn lè máa sọ pé ọmọ yìí kò jọ ìyá ẹ̀ kò jọ bàbẹ́ ó ṣojú bí ojú kíngì ó ṣe yín bí eyín àyànù atọ́ mélòó ló wọnú bẹ̀ yẹn gan eyín àtẹ̀yìn àyànù wọ́n fẹ́ jọra wọn fẹ́ náwọn kankan nǹkan mọ́ àbájọ táyànù gbé kéèkì lọ tó náwó sáwọn tó tọ̀ síbẹ̀ pọ̀ ṣe Àṣànà ìwọ ló máa ṣàlàyé gbẹ̀yìn o má jẹ́ ká lọ fún DNA kó tó ṣàlàyé àbí tó lẹ́ni King White ṣe ń pè mí tó fẹ́ sọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ká tó lọ fún DNA eyín lẹ́yìn àyàn ojúlójú king a máa ṣe nǹkan ó ṣe pé àwọn tó lọmọ gan máa wò pé báwo lọmọ yóò ṣe wá jọ wá ń dilé wa báyìí bó ṣe pé wọn ti lọ ṣe DNA gan ẹni tó ń claim pé òun lọmọ because Sam Larry gan bó ti jẹ́ pé Sam Larry king CEO àwọn Cargo White ni ambassador Cargo White ọmọ yẹn ò tún pupa ẹ lọ wo bàbá ẹ fojú ẹ̀gbẹ́ ẹ má fi straight face wo bàbá Mohbad ojú ẹ̀gbẹ́ ni kẹ́ fi wo bàbá Mohbad ọfẹ́ in complexion tẹ́ bá wo bàbá Mohbad straight ó máa dúdú ẹ fojú ẹ̀gbẹ́ báyìí kẹ́ fi wo bàbá kẹ́ zoom in and zoom out kẹ́ zoom in and zoom out ṣé bàbá pupa ṣé mo sọ kí ni mo sọ nǹkan tí mo sọ pa spending sin wọ́n ní punch ti gbé tí mo sọ pé punch àti nurse ló máa mú ṣé mo sọ kí mo sọ fún yín ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí punch wọ́n ní punch ti gbé àní tí bá sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ ó yá ẹ dá gift bomi to prosecute him over the singer's death spending legal counsel now spending bó ṣe jẹ́ pé ó betray Mohbad spending sórí lọ́ọ̀yà ẹ̀yẹ gangan òun àti King White àti Pierce báyìí ni wọ́n sórí lọ́ọ̀yà ẹ̀yẹ ló máa send it out spending lọ́ọ̀yà ẹ̀yẹ ló máa send it out èmi tí mo sọ fún ẹni spending bó tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé wọ́n lo betray Mohbad ìwọ lè ṣù tó ta Mohbad táṣà náà fi pa spending sórí lọ́ọ̀yà ẹ̀yẹ èmi sọ fún ẹ lẹ́ni ó máa gé lóko pàjẹ́ ni èmi ti gbọ́ a lot àbíwèrè ní Yẹmisí Kẹ̀lání ni ó ní let's fight for spending like we did for Primeboy kémi jà for spending tí ó jà fúnra ẹ̀ spending tó mọ kú tí mo bá di kú tí ó jà fúnra ẹ̀ ṣé gbà tí mo wá gbèjà spending ṣé kò ṣe pé mo wá jà fún ni Yẹmisí Kẹ̀lání sọ pé ìbẹ́ẹ̀gì o ìyá mi má bínú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn bí mi nù ni èmi ti pe spending bàbá mo ti pè ní kọ̀kọ̀ ìtorí ó náwọn nǹkan tí mo gbọ́ Kẹ̀lání má bínú slip of tongue ni abẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mo pè bàbá mo pè ń bọ̀gọ̀ ó refuse láti sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ fún blogger Yamaneg ó refuse láti sọ ń bí ẹ wá ní kémi spending according to the decision to prosecute him while the coroner's inquest is ongoing we amount to a travesty. It stands that the evidence presented by Sodiq at the inquest was sufficient to exonerate him from nothing. We exonerate him, no. Kí ni mo sọ? I did my best to vindicate spending, but he refused to talk. Nothing is a game. I am telling you now. From source to meeting gongo. 2 weeks ago, lotin plan kini. 2 weeks ago ni. Ori nurse àti spending lo fẹ́ gboro yẹn sí. Ṣé bá pé mo de kọ́kọ́ wá so bí ṣe so láàárọ̀ yìí ló ṣe jáde. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé best caller. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé best caller. Best caller mo fẹ́ pé bàbá Mohbad mo tún lọ pé bàbá Mohbad bó ṣe mi kò yé mi o love 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 one thing bàbá Mohbad ẹni ṣe wọ nìyẹn ó pè mí lẹ́yìn ikú anyway.
Well, what else do you expect? Unfortunately, the little boy called Liam has to go through this. He has to experience this due to Wunmi's foolishness, wickedness, and lack of empathy. If she had gotten DNA done at the initial stage, I don't think anyone would be cursing on that little boy or making jest or fun of that boy. This will not go. Internet does not forget. People might forget, but internet will not forget. References will be drawn to these videos whenever this boy grows up. Back then, Karima had said, do you guys think that boy is going to grow up in Nigeria? He's going to grow in the US. You guys will not even know him. You will know nothing about him. It is possible. That was when she and Wunmi were running the show together. That was when it was beneficial to her. But when she realized that they were not allowing her to ride the bus, they were not letting her into whatever it is, she got upset and she said she's going to, she will expose them. She said her sister is a product of incest that Wunmi's father is Wunmi's mother's cousin, and that it's a thing of shame. That's why the man will never ever come out to talk or defend Wunmi. Because of this, they do not want anyone to connect the dots together or to talk about them. But she has said it already. Now, Mohbad's father talked about Pierce. That Pierce had offered tires of his cars to him, new tires. If he had gone ahead to take the tire, he said people would have said that he betrayed justice for Mohbad. That people should stop trying to create, create something out of nothing. That there is nothing about if Pierce bribed this person, sponsored this. The truth of the matter, like I said, is that this Pierce was on justice for Mohbad at the beginning due to irreconcilable differences. Pierce had his opinion. He was giving out those opinions on how to get justice for Mohbad. And Muyiwa, Mohbad's father's brother in the US, felt, hey, you are in the US, you are in the UK, I'm in the US, we are both abroad, that you have said to bring out money does not mean you will tell us. He had that chip on his shoulder. He felt that he should be in control and nobody should drive the direction, the car of justice for Mohbad in whatever direction. That Pierce should also accept what they want and do what they want. He spoke in such a way that Pierce asked, how old are you? Because you're talking to me as if I'm your son, like I'm underneath you, like I'm your child. It is true that Muyiwa speaks that way. Muyiwa speaks in that way. There was a time they said Muyiwa should be cut off because he was trying to control justice for Mohbad, trying to stand up for his brother, trying to make whoever it is out there realize that, oh, Mohbad's father has someone to speak up for him. He was being authoritative, and people are like, how much have you even put into this justice for Mohbad for you to start talking, telling us who are donating? He was able to weather the storm here and there, but for the one of Pierce, it was unable. Pierce was, they had their, showdown. Pierce said, do you know how much I've put into this justice for Mohbad? How dare you now open your mouth to talk to me this way? They had their fight and Pierce cut off. Maybe due to the anger of what it is that happened, being that you are putting money at the beginning, which people are saying that Pierce is broke, is on disability, and he said he's not. I heard him, he said there's something like that he can show his pay slip, and that there's nothing like he's on disability. He said he has masters in psychology and all of that. So I don't know what he does. He had an operation that cost him some defect in his mouth, and his words are not that audible and clear. Well, who gave him money? That's the question people are asking. And I cannot begin to go into who gave him money. 10 million naira is not a big deal for someone who is not broke. Being abroad does not mean that everyone is in the same financial status or level. So let's leave that. The thing is, after the man got off the track of justice for Mohbad through the Baba Mohbad's father's brother and all of them, it was like a group. He decided to be a bit rude, let me put it that way, to justice for Mohbad. That's what it appears to certain people. He decided to be opposite to it. Somehow, that's what people see. He started showing some kind of form of empathy towards Liam, saying that Liam needs money too. During the birthday, he has sent money to Liam. We heard that he has spoken to Wunmi and spoken to certain people. So this got on the nerves of some people, and they said, oh, he's anti-justice. But when he was bringing money, he wasn't anti-justice. Not until they had their differences, irreconcilable one, and the man decided to change direction. He started going on platforms neutral. From there, certain people realized that this guy is the one that was bankrolling justice for Mohbad at the beginning. Someone asked for money, told someone else, they started asking for money. And before you know it, he had given money to one or two people. Then Gorexi came into the show, into the matter. And they had their thing. He claimed that it's a business. Then there is this girl, called God something. She's very loud. She speaks in a way. She had also gone to this man to ask for money. The man gave. She claimed that she has not spent the money, that the money is in her account, and that money will be sent to Mohbad's father's account, but not returned to the Mr. Pierce. That story sounds, funny, but it is what it is. Why do you have to take money for you to gather information from someone? Why do you have to get money from the person? Why do you have to get a lot of money, up to 400 and something thousand naira? Why don't you stop at 50,000 or 20 and then become friends with this person and whatever? So she gave her own story and claimed that this is what she did. But one thing that stands out is that all through the journey, she had never turned her back on justice for Mohbad. She had been that loud on it. Those that felt they cannot speak against that man, they felt, since the man is no longer on this side, that is Mohbad's father's side of donation and all of that, and on the other side, the man is giving money to Liam. Those people, one or two, felt, okay, it's time for us to not talk about certain things anymore. It's time for us to insult Mohbad's father because, and Mr. Muyiwa, which I do understand why these people are behaving in that way, because they felt, oh, this man gave me money and he explained to me what happened, how they disrespected him, and this got on the nerves of some of these so-called justice for Mohbad people, and they started speaking against Mohbad's father. That's just the picture of the whole thing. It's not as if the thing is so complex or complicated. But regardless, whoever is bankrolling anybody, you cannot stop justice for Mohbad. I know that public opinion is important. I know that our voices are loud. Social media is powerful. But the truth of the matter is that justice for Mohbad cannot be turned upside down by anybody. So that is that. Mohbad's father is saying that people should relax and stop trying to paint people who had requested for assistance from Mr. Pierce, and he had ascended, accept, he had agreed to give them one or two things, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, like that. You should stop all of these things and let's focus on justice. It's okay. The part of the part of spending on your own, when you were supposed to be vocal, clear-minded, you did not. You thought you escaped. After all, it's just the nurse that you give number to want to call, and that's it. It's none of your own business. But right now, he's rattled up. His lawyer is rattled up because Prime Boy somehow has been able to escape this thing. Somehow, Prime Boy has been able to, with his voice, talking and pushing, pressing, and because they know that if this goes to court, there is no possibility of Prime Boy being jailed. How can you jail him? Where is the evidence that he fought Mohbad? There is no evidence. No evidence that he used anything on Mohbad, sharp object, whatever. There is no evidence of a fight, and it has been established by Wunmi and by whoever that there was no fight, that it was like it takes two people to fight, right? It was Mohbad that was beating him, pulling him. He didn't do nothing. So how then can Mohbad buy and be bleeding profusely? You get it? So now they said, okay, who do we put in jail? Two people must go to jail. The nurse and spending. It has now become a spending thing. Yes, spending. You will explain tire. You were not being truthful. You were playing games. There was a time I listened to him. He spoke and started acting glib, talking anyhow, saying that he's this, is that. I want this, multinational this and that. I am this. I was in the UK. I came back. I am that. I'm a dancer. I'm this. It was so glib, talking. I looked at him. Did you see Mohbad and Prime Boy fight? He said he didn't see well. He was in the car. Maybe it was dark and he was holding the baby inside of the car, so he didn't see what was happening outside. We want to say, yes, I went to call security. Everything happened in a rush. It's so fast. They were all drunk. But he at least he told us there was a fight on their way going back, that he had to hold on to the baby. And also, he said some things that was a bit helpful. But at the inquest, he started talking in a way. Now, trouble is on him because they have brought the package to his doorstep. They said that he's the one that must be dealt with the nurse. Both of them must go to prison. First, he will have a smaller sentence for bringing someone who is not qualified. And I'm kind of wondering, The police said that spending is a co-conspirator. Or what was that expression? They said spending is part of, and I'm kind of wondering what is this trash? What is this thing? I don't get it. How is this so? How is this possible? What is this thing all about? Like, what's going on here? Spending, you will go to jail, oh, but in a small way. They said that you are the one that introduced. I don't know how introducing auxiliary nurse, that is something that is common in Nigeria, how it is now, but it is a good thing. It's a kind of punishment. Spending must collect. Spending, you will go to prison. You are going to prison for being part of what died Mohbad. You and the nurse. I think now the nurse will be coming out to talk, since this is on Punch newspaper. The nurse will be definitely coming out to talk. If you don't talk, you will collect.